Hey, all my preppers, it is your culinary motivator, E. Denise, and I'm getting ready to take you back in time. Baby, remember when? I'm your girl, E. Denise, and this is my beautiful kitchen that I love to be in. If you are a little iffy about being in your kitchen, all of that is getting ready to change because we are going to have fun. We're going to learn new things about food and spices and just everything overall. But we're going to first do what the name says. We are going to learn how to prep to live. So this is it. What you see, all of this monotony on this table, this is how we're going to change our thinking about living, prepping, so that we don't have to make those sudden choices when we're out and about or even when we're home, because it's all going to be ready for us. So let's get started and I'll tell you exactly how it's done. First step is to look in your cabinets and your refrigerator, wherever you have your food, whether it be perishable or non-perishable. You know that cucumber that's almost getting ready to leave you and go in the garbage. Don't let it happen. Use what you have first. So I went through, I pulled out mostly everything. I left some things in there because I was like, you know what, I'll save that for later, or the date is good. You know, I'm not rushed to use it. That's another thing. Check the dates on your food. I know you're wondering, is this use by or buy by? It don't matter. So please, if you gotta do vegetables, do frozen. If you don't have a fresh vegetable market, do frozen. Can is your last resort, all right? We're not ruling it out because some places that's all you can get. But can is really last resort. If I buy something in can, I try my best to use it really quick. Sweet. All right, so first things first, I'm a big advocate on writing things down. Yes, I use my recorder on my phone. I type in things on my phone, but there is power in this. There is power in these digits. There's power in it. So writing it down gives you like an authority over what you're doing. So with that being said, I'm just gonna label, my sheet of paper, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we're gonna plan for 5 meals for each segment. So you got breakfast, you've got lunch, 1, 2, 3. Help me with the next one, 4, 5. Then you got dinner. And then you got snacks. And what you want to do is have 2 to 3 snacks a day. And you want them to be healthy. So yes, you can have 3 snacks. So you just put down, snacks for the day. We think about the things that we have on our table that we took out of our cabinets and our refrigerators, and think about it. Okay, I had, just egg. I had Morningstar bacon. I had grits. I had shrimp. I had cereal and oatmeal and all this stuff. That can be your 5 meals. So the first one will be bacon and eggs. I had shrimp and grits, and we all love us some shrimp and grits. I'm telling you, people, you got to know what's going in your body. Everybody is talking about, generational wealth, generational wealth. We got to do this. We got to save. Guess what will happen if you don't have health? Don't matter. Generational wealth does not matter if you don't have generational health. Okay? So check these out. These are my favorites. Like, I love gadgets, But these aren't really gadgets. These are things that you can pick up. I know that you have the plastic containers at home from Chinese food. Come on, somebody. From the plastic, from the fruit that you buy, you keep the container. Okay, all well and good. If that is the case, I want you to either invest in yourself and get items like this, right? These actually have, it says starch 1 serving. Tell me you ain't taking the guesswork out of life. Starch 1 serving. Okay, that's taking it out. Vegetable half serving. It's written right there, right there. Protein 1 serving size. That is what that is, 1 serving size. Look, these are prep containers. You know what I like about them? Look at the measurements in there. They're measurements. So it says 1 cup of grains, 1 cup of protein, and 2 cups of vegetables and fruit. That's kind of how you should be eating if you're going to use these, okay? If you're going to use your regular containers, which is excellent, because guess what? You ain't got to buy those. You've got them. Be conscious of how much you put in each. This is prepping to live. Now you know what this is all about. It is all about taking the mistakes out of your day, out of your week, out of your month, your year, and your life, and adding to your life. Because how can I make a mistake if I do what all of this is prepped for? Okay, so you got breakfast, you have lunch, you have dinner, and you have snacks. People, it's a no-brainer. All it is some time that you deserve, and some time that is needed. All right, so let's get this tasty vegan meatloaf. Just try it. You gotta try it, okay? Promise me you'll try it. Or you try it and then you slice it up, you and your friends try it. But you gotta try it because it's really, really good. I wouldn't lie to you. All right, so here I have some really great Beyond Beef. I know you've seen it in the store, Beyond Meat. I know you've seen it in the store. Comes in like a block, or they have crumbles or sausage or whatever. Well, this is good stuff. All right, so we're gonna put that in that bowl. Now, I like to add a little something because this is just protein. There's no, you have to doctor it up as far as flavor is concerned. But these little doohickeys right here, these are protein sausage, and this one is Italian seasoning. The thing about this sausage though, this is not one of them fat red sausages from down south that you can cook with the casing on. Gotta take the casing off, okay? And it's easy. Here you go. Just cut the bottom and then just put a little slit right, not my finger, but a slit right here, and you take it off. Ta-da! Look at that. And then you break it up because you're gonna put it all together. I have not eaten meat in about, I want to say 4, maybe 5 years. It was a dare to someone, and she is of Muslim faith, and she, honors Ramadan, and she's also a mail carrier, and I would just find such joy in calling her at 12 in the afternoon as I ate a sandwich, and she was like, "Get off my phone." So I told her one year, I said, "Hey, you know what? When you honor Ramadan, I'm going to stop eating meat." Yeah, right. And I never went back. And I started Prep to Live because I used to be 308 pounds. Don't worry, you'll see pictures. But I used to be 308 pounds. And because of a previous health issue, I was told, you got to do better. And I put the doctors off for a few years. And finally, it came down to I had to have gastric bypass. So I had the gastric bypass. And anybody who has had weight loss surgery, whether it be gastric bypass, the sleeve, the whatever, the staple, whatever, you know it is not a quick fix. It's a great jump start, but it is not a quick fix. It is a push you in the right direction. Now, whether you keep going, that's up to you. But if you don't keep going, you're gonna stand still and you're gonna backslide. I'm telling you, I've seen too many people start out thinking, oh, this is it, and I can eat anything I want, and can't do it, people. You can call them bell pepper, you can call them green pepper. But I would go with bell pepper because, as you can see, they come in different colors. We get this life one time. There are no do-overs. You might get a second chance, but there's no do-overs. And I know you're like, well, what that mean? I'll tell you about it, don't worry. We'll get it. So any of you have ever cut greens, you got to put them together and then roll. It is time to make the loaf. But I'm just making a small loaf, and out of this, I can make 2 loaves. So let me tell you something good about protein. You can freeze it. Yes, you can. Properly wrap it and everything. And Lord knows, it is so good. All right. She ready. Look at the goodness. You see the goodness? I see the goodness. I see the peppers and the kale and the onions. Oh Lord, I smell it. So now we're gonna put this in the oven at, of course, 350. Everybody's like, why is everything cooked at 350? Because it's a good temperature. So we're gonna cook it for 30 minutes. All right? Well, hello there. So listen, I want you to get the smell-o-vision, because babies, it's smelling like heaven in here. That vegan meatloaf is almost done. In the meantime, we're gonna make some mixed vegetables, roasted vegetables. Feeling weak. We cook our food until every nutrient has packed its bags and walked out the door. And then we just eating to be eaten. You don't want to kill your vegetables. You want to be able to have a thing of vegetables, pick one out, and eat it if you want to. But you want that to be the same sound you hear when you cook it otherwise. This we're gonna cook for, I'll say about 35 minutes, 40 minutes, okay? Because remember, we ain't trying to kill it. We just trying to cook it. There's a big difference. So remember, we made vegan, I've got to figure out another name. Other loaf. First of all, I know, so who made up the word loaf? What is that? Loaf. If you want to better your health, shed some pounds, start eating off this. Put your food on it and make sure that first joint in your finger, that you have that much clearance all the way around. And eat your food in the middle. And that is it, good people. You don't need a platter of food. I take a spoon of this, maybe a spoon and a half, because I can do that. Boom. So in here, I have another 2 servings. That's 3, that's 4, that's all together, that is 4 meals in one pan. 4 side dishes in one pan. Oh, I'm on the go all the time. Where's your excuse? Here it is. Okay? Hey everybody, what's up, my favorite preppers? I am your girl E. Denise. Welcome to Prep2Live. Do y'all know what it is? It's my birthday. That's right, this is my birthday show. And I wouldn't have wanted to spend my birthday with anybody else but my favorite preppers. And today, I got an extra bonus in the kitchen, because you know you ain't living unless you're in your kitchen. And today, I have one of the most beautiful birthday gifts. My sister girlfriend.
Hey.
Hey, this is Michelle, everybody. Y'all say hey, Michelle.
Hey, preppers.
Yes. Michelle has her own company, Majestic Workout. She be working them out. And not just physical exercise, but can you tell everybody about your company and the history and all that good stuff?
Of course. Again, hello, preppers. And I would be remiss if I didn't start this segment off by saying again, happy birthday! Oh my gosh, but thank you so much for having me. It is my absolute pleasure to spend time with you and your prepper family. And you're right, today we're going to talk about some really cool things in my mind, says she. And but my company, again, my company is called Majestic Workout, and the mission of our company is to inspire people to honor their bodies and reign over their lives with healthy living. We started, my business partner is Jacqueline Brown, and we started our company in 2005. We really wanted a way to help people in urban communities gain healthier lifestyles. It was about that time that I learned my dad was diabetic, and I learned that his father had quadruple bypass surgery. I never knew that. And once I started doing a little more research and digging, I remember reading how diabetes was just exploding in the Black community in particular. And we wanted to play a part in really helping to combat that with exercise. So our whole premise was about group exercise, and then we began to offer basic nutrition workshops as well. So we're all about, you know, that holistic being, right? Our nutrition, our mental health, and all that. And I didn't mention Majestic stands for Michelle and Jacqueline, energizing souls together in Christ.
Yo, I think I got a tear in my eye.
That's what we're about. Tear. So yes, so since 2005, we've been on our mission to just create healthier communities, again, through workshops, exercise classes, and more.
Listen, today we have a very, very special show. Now, of course, it's special because this is the day I was born. Just a few years ago. Watch yourself. Anyway, Michelle is here because we really, really want to give you some nutritional information, other ways to prep to live. And it's more than just your food. It is more than just your food. You have to get down to the nitty gritty. You remember the nitty gritty? You too young for the nitty gritty.
I'm sorry.
So right now, I've got a bunch of questions to ask Michelle. So let's get into it. What would you say relationship with food? How important is your relationship with food?
Your relationship with food is imperative. It is very important that we have a healthy relationship with food. I can tell you my personal relationship, on Facebook, where it asks for your relationship status, and you can put it's complicated. That's how my relationship with food has been. And we're going to keep it 100, right? It's so important that we understand what we're putting in our bodies, and we have a purpose for why we're eating. You know, we're not living to eat, right? That's not our purpose. That's not our intent, because then we just start hoarding things that our body does not need. We need to eat to live understand what foods are imperative for our health as we eat to live.
Exactly. Relationship. Now, relationships can be good or they can be bad. Would you say that's the same thing with food?
Absolutely.
And is there repercussions for bad relationships?
There are absolute repercussions for bad relationships with food. That's a great question. And that's why we need to understand the healthful benefits of food and the negative ones as well. The importance of knowing your numbers, okay? Because
What
this
do
all
you
relates
mean?
to food.
Like for the Powerball?
Now, if you know those numbers, if y'all know those numbers to the Powerball.
I'm saved. I don't play the Powerball. Do that. You got any numbers?
Listen, hook your girl. If I win the Powerball, you gonna want a couple dollars. But she doesn't play. So it's okay. But that's between me and you. We can listen, if you know the numbers, if you have a good idea.
It's my birthday.
Know your numbers. Powerball, health numbers, right? Because if you don't know your health numbers, the Powerball doesn't even come into play.
Didn't I tell y'all? No generational wealth without generational health.
That's right. So annually, at least annually, you should be visiting your doctor.
And it's once a year.
Right? So you should be visiting your doctor once a year, at least, to understand your numbers. Some of the big numbers that we're talking about here is your cholesterol. We want to know our blood glucose levels, right? And our blood pressure. So let's think about blood glucose. Let's start there. You're fasting, and get a pen and paper to write some of this down. Okay?
That's right.
So first things first, fasting blood glucose. Our fasting blood glucose levels should be under 100. So that's under 100 milligrams per deciliter.
So let's go back. Fasting.
When we give that blood, that sample of blood, we should not have any food in our system that will negatively impact those numbers.
So that means in the morning?
We're fasting, so if you take your test in the morning, right, you're typically fasting for about an 8 hour, maybe 12-hour period. So your doctor generally says, don't have anything before this test. You may be able to drink water, maybe black coffee, no sugar, no creams, anything like that. You don't want anything to deter to modify your numbers, right? Okay. So if you take it later in the day, your doctor will tell you when that window is where you can't have any food, right? Okay. So again, you want to have a fasting blood glucose less than 100. Okay. And so what's going to happen then, if that number reads between 101 and 125, then you are diagnosed as pre-diabetic. Between 101 and 125, you'll receive a diagnosis as pre-diabetic. So all is not lost at that point. Right. That does not mean, again, you're pre-diabetic, right? So you're in the window of, if you continue this lifestyle, it may turn into full-blown diabetes. Okay. So at that point, self-care is imperative. Taking better care of your nutrition and beginning to have a more active lifestyle. All right. Okay. If that blood glucose reading is 126 or higher on two consecutive or two separate tests, then you will receive a diagnosis of diabetes. Wow. Okay. And even still, with that diagnosis of diabetes, right, that doesn't mean you're just going to, give in to insulin or metformin, some of these pills every day. You still have to take excellent care of yourself. That's it. Right? And there are many, many stories where people were diagnosed with diabetes, but once they changed their diet and began to exercise more, in many cases, they've come off of pills. It didn't have to progress to insulin, right? So there's a period of time, again, where we can still take control of the situation, particularly if the diabetes, it depends on how your body is responding to insulin, quite frankly. And that determines if you can still produce your own insulin or if you need to take, medication. Wow.
Yeah, so we are talking about some really serious issues, and it's still my birthday. But we are really addressing lifestyle. We are addressing things that we can prevent if we just take care of ourselves. What about your blood pressure? When they put, what's the deal with that?
So blood pressure numbers are important as well. The thing about blood pressure, it's often called the silent killer. Why? Because if you have high blood pressure, it's often symptomless. you don't necessarily walk around with symptoms when you have high blood pressure, and you may not know you have high blood pressure until it's too late, until you end up in the hospital, right?
Okay.
So with your blood pressure, we were always taught that magic number is 120/80. If you have that blood pressure of 120/80, you're in good shape. That's not so today. Okay, 120/80 is now diagnosed as pre-hypertension. So 120/80, write this down, between 139/89 is pre-hypertension. If your blood pressure is 140/90 or higher, that is hypertension. Keep in mind, both of those numbers don't have to be high. Just one of those numbers needs to be in that particular range to be diagnosed as pre or having hypertension. So what I'm saying is pre-hypertension could be 120/85. That's pre-hypertension because that 85, right? So be mindful of your numbers. Make sure you're getting your blood pressure tested. You can go to many drugstores, and some of them have blood pressure cuffs. You can buy a blood pressure cuff. It's not expensive. I have one at home. I track my blood pressure, so make sure you're doing that.
Yes, absolutely.
Cholesterol.
Yes.
Okay. Cholesterol, your total cholesterol should not exceed 200.
Okay.
The two numbers that are most important with cholesterol that we really pay the most attention to are your LDL and your HDL. Your LDL should not be higher than 100. Your HDL, which is known as your good cholesterol, should be 40 or higher. Bonus, if your HDL is 60 or higher, that gives you heart protective factors, right? So what that means is that your HDL, when it is above range, that's actually scooping up some of that bad cholesterol that's going through our bloodstream. So again, if we have that HDL at 60 or higher, that's a good thing. That means that good cholesterol is picking up the bad.
Wow. I am going to be smart when this is over.